The Triton and Tackle Fishing Show, starring Jeff Lothamer.
Morning. This is Jeff Lothamer from the Triton and Tackle Fishing Show. Today we'll be fishing the Indian Lake chain. I know it looks like a beautiful day in the background, but it is actually 32 degrees right now. Very early spring. It's been a very, very cold spring. Water temperatures are only around 39 or 40 degrees main lake, and maybe a degree or two colder or warmer in the channels. So we're going to have our work cut out for us today. We'll probably be sticking primarily to the channels for the largemouth. Throw in a couple different baits, a little swim bait and a craw, maybe a little jerk bait. We'll just see how it goes today, but may go out to the main lake and try for some smallmouth as well. We'll be using some deep shadow wrap on those and maybe some blade baits. So we'll try a couple different things today. Stay with us and hopefully things turn out well. Thanks. First cast. Nice fish too. Hammered it. Look at that. Very first cast, folks. And that big shadow wrap did the trick right there. That's a nice quality fish. So we threw that little deep shad wrap or X wrap out along these weed lines just outside this little bay right here. Very first cast, caught a nice quality fish. So now we're going to move up into this little channel. It just got dredged out last fall, so it should hold some decent fish. It's got a little bit of water coming in the backside, so hopefully it's a couple degrees warmer and we can get some bites in here. I'm going to start throwing a little swim bait, just kind of parallel on the bank, so let's see what we do. That was another decent fish. I had fished all the way back with a swim bait. Fished this little culvert right here. It had some water coming out with the swim bait. Didn't catch anything. Very first cast, switched to a little craw. Bang. Got to switch it up when you're not feeling it. Alright, so we caught two fish, one just outside this little channel on a deep jerk bait, and one all the way in the back of the channel where a culvert came in. A little bit of current was running with a little Texas rigged cross. So on to the next spot. got on this pattern late last fall. Spotted these smallmouth down about between 23 and 28 feet. You drop a blade bait down, basically straight vertical jigging over the side of the boat. Jig, and he hammered it. Awesome. I had just given up on the blade bait, had been working it for a while. I just slid it here a little bit farther off the side of this point and marked some fish. So right back down, first drop, bang. There you go. I wasn't getting any hits on the swim bait, so I immediately switched to this little craw, little rage-tail craw. Very first cast, fish. Gotta go with your instincts on what's working and not. pretty good now. All in that little crawl. So that's that bait switch has been the whole deal.
This time of year, typically you go along and you'll fish and fish and fish without getting a hit, and then you'll hit a certain area when it's in the spring and the water's so cold. When you start catching fish, you usually catch more than one. They tend to school up a little bit or get in stretches that tend to draw the fish for whatever reason. So anytime you start catching fish, kind of slow up, work the area a little bit better, and you'll be able to glean a few more fish off those spots. So watch that as you go along. Hit the You can see we're really starting to catch them pretty decent now. Pretty good clip. The water temperature is finally getting just a couple degrees warmer. We got a little bit nicer day than we've had for most of the spring. We switched to that little crawl bait, and it's been catching them pretty consistent.
switch baits down here. I'd pass this whole area up, throwing a swim bait, didn't catch anything. Came back through with a crawl, couple casts, got one. Don't go back and cover the ground you had with the old bait that you weren't catching anything on. If you start catching them, go back and cover that water again.
It was kind of amusing as we were working down this second little channel. The guy came out of his front yard and just started target practicing with his pistol in his front yard. So you can hear it in the background as we're catching a few fish here. I'm sure his neighbors love him for it, but it was kind of amusing. But that's what you get in rural Indiana this time of year.
People over here shooting their gun, but we're still catching fish. Alright, so we had a pretty good day today. I don't know how many fish we caught, maybe 15 or so. Very first cast of the day, we caught a nice fish on a deep jerkbait. Caught a fish or two, a couple of smallmouth out on the main lake on vertical jigging a blade bait in about 25 foot of water using our sonar to locate the fish and just vertical jigging over the top of them. Caught a couple of fish that way. Most of the fish we caught today were back in the channels, pretty far back, nothing out towards the mouth, about midway to the back. We were catching them all in that little 3-inch crawl, so that was the ticket today. Not a bad day, even though the temperature, it looks beautiful out, but it's only about 35 degrees. Water temperature's right about 40, 43 back in the channels, so it's pretty good for this time of year. So thanks for